They say time flies, whether you're having fun or not, but a good memory, well, that can last forever. This beautiful place behind me, where I decided to take my lunch, is Bixby Bridge in Big Sur, the most photographed bridge on the West Coast, and it's about 13 miles south of Carmel, California. It soars 260 feet above Bixby Creek and cost $200,000 to build in 1932, and I don't believe I've ever driven across it and not felt like it was a little sketchy. But I made it. Thanks to the road closures from recent landslides to the south, it took an hour longer to get here. But with these type of views, I didn't mind. I sat here for a bit, enjoying the beautiful coastal air, watching the waterfalls flowing into the ocean and the arches spanning for miles, as I pulled up to Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park a day earlier than my friend Zach. Pretty much the most perfect campsite under a gigantic oak tree. I decided I was going to start slowing down and sinking into this vacation a little bit and just taking in all of the natural beauty.
Well, I'm tired of the cold, and I'm tired of the way I've been living. 80 years old, finally make a well thought out decision.
The sound of the river flowing through the trees, especially with the option for midday river swims, was pretty hard to beat. Being up here a day early allowed me to have some much needed personal time. It had been 3.5 years since I met Zach in Maui when his brother asked me if I'd let him and his friends stay in my Airbnb. I went out on a limb, and we had so many epic adventures in Maui and on the West Coast. I was stoked to finally meet someone who was down for all the crazy shenanigans I was up to. I was still living in my apartment at the time that I had shared with my ex, and he was technically still living in Pennsylvania, when we both came up with a crazy plan to finish out a warehouse space into 2 apartments, and then completely downsize our life to travel and surf freely. While that's a story for another time, it did end up happening, and twice a year we would take epic trips like this, either up the coast or to the desert.
What's up?
Cheers.
Zach is Californian now.
Sorry, PA. And I knew that our days of these type of adventures were numbered, so I was stoked on his arrival.
Well, look who decided.
As he pulled up in his trusty taco that he drove out from Pennsylvania, the trip was officially on.
Bringing the taco in. A little bit to the right, a little bit more to the right. Keep cutting it, keep coming, keep coming. Slow, now stop. All right, come inch it. Right there, that's good.
After getting settled, we decided to go on a short hike up to the radio tower and start exploring the area.
Go camp out in there.
Now you know ball is life when you're in the middle of nowhere in a national park and you have a very well-maintained basketball hoop just sitting on the top of a mountain. Kind of a dream, not gonna lie. We decided to end with a river swim when we got back, got the campfire stoked, and poured ourselves a drink. Life was good. Very good.
Well, it like wants you to lay back in them.
Yeah.
Buns toasted.
As the volume of the music went down, the sound of the forest was alive. With no campers around us in sight, the starry skies starting to peek through the trees, we decided to crash out early before an even bigger hike the next day.
Some days the good things aren't easy to find, but if you're looking you'll see plenty around. It's in the background and out in plain sight.
Yo,
Good things
got
happen
fire
all
roaring over there.
the time.
I'll cook in a minute. Just gonna do my laundry real quick.
More than often, people will be kind. be good-hearted and help each other out. Good news won't often make the headlines. Good things happen all the time. Good things happen all the time.
Cheese are cooking. Good thing they're wet. Look what's for breakfast. I've been in cold water. It's actually not that bad. Hippie bath, man. Seriously. Let's see, let's have a push-up battle in the water. Alright. This is kind of like a cold water enema since the stream is going on.
Get along just fine. Trouble may be in the spotlight. Good things happen all the time.
We started our day with a nice cold plunge and a little river laundry before cooking up some eggs and getting on the trail. We decided that we were going to take it to the end, which is 10 or 11 miles, and neither of us had the right shoes for it. But we had the right attitude, because the sun was blazing and we didn't have a care in the world.
This rooftop means nothing, I'll jump if you say so.
There's also a slight possibility that on this hike, I may or may not have been quoting a few lines from the movie Gladiator on the way up. I vaguely remember saying something about Elysium as I ran my fingers through the tall grass. Safe to say, other than some slight mountain lion paranoia, this trail was just incredibly gorgeous.
My mind,
In it.
it's not a problem yet, onto why my fault.
As we got to the top, we could see for miles. We were so exhausted, but unbelievably satisfied. Finishing the trail, watching eagles and hawks in the distance, talking about life, and just having a tremendous amount of appreciation for all of the incredible things that we had been able to experience over the last few years. We were not stoked, however, on walking 5 miles back to camp in peak July heat. So, we decided to run.
There's a valley where the wildflowers grow.
The entire way down.
All the longing takes me back.
And here's where I learned the difference between running shoes and Vans,
There's a sorrow in the undertow.
as I could barely stumble back to camp because of the size of the blisters on my feet.
Slowly fading past.
There's nothing more that we wanted than to cook up some dinner, and that's exactly what we did. More burgers, more hot dogs, and this time, some margaritas that we had on ice. And as the campfire was dying out, Scooter told me he was going to get engaged and head back a little early. There's something definitely about being in nature which allows you to collect your thoughts and know exactly which direction to move in life. And my boy Zach was about to get married. While for a brief moment I was bummed that he wasn't going to continue on the adventure, that was quickly wiped away when I saw the smile on his face. It felt like every conversation I had with this kid over the last few years was finally coming into fruition, as it culminated in the most incredible union ever. I was so excited and so happy for him. He came out to the West Coast, 19 years old, not wanting to even talk about dating. And now he had completely grown into a man that was excited for the opportunity to spend the rest of his life with a girl. And to me, that is the very definition of growth. We decided to grab our skateboards and skate through the trees, eventually ending and taking the dirt bike through some trails as we enjoyed our last epic day to the fullest. There's about 17 years difference between Zach and I can tell you this. I think I learned just as much from him as he might have ever learned from me about life. You just have to get rid of that stigma of age and the idea that people younger than you are not able to teach you something about life, because everyone sees the world through a different lens. And one of my favorite proverbs states that with a multitude of counselors, there's wisdom. And wisdom is something that I feel like I gained from his view of the world. We all pick up and take something from each other to use in the rest of our lives. And for me, Scooter cared about having a simple life. And that's about it. It was at the top of his priorities. Not ever adding unnecessary stresses or problems, and nothing was going to change that. I feel like I absolutely needed to hear that and to take a page out of that book to apply in my own life. And that's exactly what I decided to do.
The scent of southern air before you go.